Jen, let's maybe keep building on that theme, because one of the biggest shifts in modern strategy is the rise of GenAI. So where are you seeing GenAI making the biggest impact today, and maybe what use cases are delivering real value inside the ecosystem?
That's a good question, right? Like, see, in today's world, at least there are a lot of areas, but I'll try to touch base two specific area in the software as such, and two area specific to the data ecosystem, right? Like, and on the software itself, like the first one is the builder copilot, right? Like, so copilot, it's been put on now every keyboard, either it's a GitHub Copilot or Fabric Copilot. It's the tool that writes refactor or even unit test code from plain English prompt, right? Like, we have seen companies like reporting that they are 40 to 55% faster cycle from ticket to production, because they are all like now hooked up with the copilot. And importantly, the engineers feel safer because the copilot already flags all the security and style issues in the beginning itself. So that's one major area from the GenAI. The second win I would call on the MCP workflow copilot. This is the model context protocols. So everyone's last year were using GenAI to summarize, but now GenAI is even put into action, right? Like, it's not just it will give you some answers, but it can also do the action for you, right? Like, especially like when it sits inside an operational app like a Salesforce or EHR or ERP apps, like it can call the same secure API that humans used to call, and do that action, right? Like, so imagine like a deal desk copilot that listens to a representative voice and updates the opportunity and sets the close date, right? Like long before the rep really hangs up. So basically, like this is the second biggest area where GenAI is changing the game. Within the data ecosystem, I feel the first one is always on the insight generation, right? Like, say here, GenAI is actually like knitting the knot across your sprawling data sets and the surface decision, right? Like, where like you can see all the customers, means you have a lot of data everywhere, like a sales service, customer service data, supply chain data, everything is being like in a very hybrid sprawling cloud, and
Mhm.
everything's all put together. But here GenAI doesn't, I mean, when Fabric puts together, GenAI is trying to connect each and answer you the simple question, or the business decision right from the content, right? So this is the third big area where it is changing the game. The last one, that my favorite is also like, I mean, see, when it comes to the data governance, right? Like I see AI governance or even the simple data governance, I would say GenAI is revolutionizing this least glamorous layer, because everyone will escape from governance, everyone will focus on deliverables, but like try to stay away from governance, and then later in the game they will start trying. But here, um, now we have a lot of AI-driven governance that can auto tag sensitive data, the draft, the access policies. It can map the lineage, or even it can propose a remediation like when query fails, right? Like, so this also helps organizations who are working towards compliance, either it is like a HIPAA compliance or SOC 2 compliance. Like, it helps them to tie it together, and brings them to one goal, right? Like, in short, so Builder Copilot and MCP, definitely this is more on the productivity side, right? Like, and whereas the GenAI Insight and also the AI-driven governance, this is more on the improving the data trust side. And you pick one from each bucket, and you'll feel the lift in weeks, actually, like not in months.
By the way, that's my favorite as well. So I think that's a great breakdown where Gen AI is already paying off.